Hello everyone, and welcome to Galaxy 89 Cars. Today, thanks to RM Sotheby's and the car's owner, I'm taking you on an exterior and interior in-depth tour of this 1966 Aston Martin DB5 shooting brake. This car will be for sale at the RM Sotheby's Woodcote Park auction on the 8th of July. All details can be found in the description of the video. The DB5 is an iconic Aston Martin, synonymous with class, elegance and 007. However, Aston chairman Sir David Brown realised, while the standard DB5 was a capable automobile, it did not quite have the stowage capacity necessary for key items, such as his polo equipment and hunting dog. The result is this, the Aston Martin commissioned DB5 shooting brake. At the time, Aston Martin's order books and factory were full, so they turned to renowned coach builder Radford to take on the small commission of just 12 cars, 1 for David Brown and 11 for interested and willing customers, with only 8 of these being right-hand drive. And so, the body of 12 standard DB5s was extended from the roof back, utilising custom steel structures. Now we've finished the model overview, we can view the powertrain. To see the engine, we first need to open the bonnet. To do this, we need to open the driver's side door to gain access to the bonnet pull that needs to be pulled out. Then, we can move outside and lift the bonnet up. It needs to be self-supported using 2 struts. These can be easily pulled out on either side. Shooting brake is powered by the same engine as the standard DB5, a front-mounted 4-litre straight 6. However, this car comes with the optional Vantage spec engine, complete with Weber carburetors that can produce 314 brake horsepower. This Vantage spec engine can send the car to 62 miles per hour or 100 kilometers per hour in 6.5 seconds, and onto a top speed of 150 miles per hour. Once finished in the engine bay, we can lower and fix the struts, and then lower the bonnet. To fix it in place, it needs to be pressed down at the same time as the lever is pushed in. Moving down to the corners, shooting brake sits on 15-inch wire spoke wheels at each corner. And stopping power is provided by Girling disc brakes at each corner that came as standard, an upgrade over DB4. We can now start the exterior tour from the front. There is an air intake duct for the radiators at the bottom. Above this, we come to the iconic chrome bumper. Moving up, we come to the grille that is formed around an inverted wings badge, a feature that is still maintained today. Moving laterally and we come to the lights, indicators and a main beam. Then centrally is the wings badge and the bonnet with its air intake. Continuing back we come to the upright windscreen and 2 wipers below. On either side there are 2 small chrome covered wing mirrors. As we move up to the roof we find the optional manual winding sunroof that we'll see from the inside later in the video. Now moving down to the sides we first come to the air release vents emblazoned by the Vantage insignia. Just below and behind this is the DB5 insignia. As we move up, we come to the bespoke extended windows. Below the last window, we come to DB5's 2 fuel tanks that come together to offer 84.4 litres of fuel capacity that come with a reserve of 3 Imperial gallons. These can be switched between using the buttons inside. Now moving to the rear, we can get another perspective of the extended windows. At the bottom of the rear, there is a double exit exhaust. It was also possible to spec a quad exit exhaust. Above this is the chrome rear bumper, with the boot lock and release, and insignia just above it. The hatchback boot lid can be seen here, with the rear lights, the number plate lights, and finally the custom rear window for this model. Now we've finished on the outside, we can move to the interior. DB5 shooting brake comes with 2 small keys, for the locks and ignition. As seen earlier, the door lock needs to be pushed in to unlock the door, that can then be easily pulled out. The door's interior construction is of a simple leather upholstery and panelling. In the centre, we find the padded leather hand and armrest, and the chrome door release further in. At the bottom of the door interior, we come to the slim leather storage pocket. As we move into the interior, we first arrive at the minimal kickplate and handbrake. To the left of this is the control for the air conditioning and bonnet release. The classic wooden steering wheel with the iconic DB insignia is next. Moving to the instrument cluster, we start with the light controls, oil pressure and temperature, revs, amps, speedo and mileage. Fuel level and water temperature, wipers and fan speed. come to the ignition barrel, clock, and controls for the electric windows that did in fact come as standard. This car comes with the optional air conditioning system, with the controls seen here. The control panel for the retrofitted sound system is below with the speaker. The leather upholstered dash is above, with a handle on the passenger's side. Below this, we come to the small, lockable glove compartment. The passenger footwell is a clean area with only one airflow control. This car comes with a 5-speed ZF manual gearbox that shifts smoothly with a firm clutch feel. Behind the gear stick, we find a small ashtray or storage area. On either side of the central column, we come to the manually adjustable seats, upholstered here in Macchia wool tweed, instead of the usual Connolly leather. Movement controls can be found to the side and underneath. Continuing back, we come to the main feature of Shooting Brake, its enhanced storage area. With the seats folded and secured, its rear capacity is increased to more than 40 cubic feet, or more than 1,100 litres of storage. To raise the rear seats, we first need to unlatch them on either side. Once done, the rear bench can then be pushed back, as seen. This seating configuration is new for Shooting Brake, and as seen, the seats can be raised, lowered and secured easily. With the seats folded down, we can move outside and view the boot from the rear. The boot lid needs to be unlocked, and the barrel requires a firm press to unlatch it. The boot lid itself is quite heavy, so it would normally require 2 hands to raise it. Once up, it is self-supported on 2 struts, as seen here, that need to be manually pressed in to release the boot lid. The extended storage area is covered here and stepped, but it offers a large amount of capacity even with the rear seats up. Moving back inside, we can view the sun visors. Between them is the interior light that has a physical chrome light switch. Below this is a small, manually adjustable rearview mirror. And continuing back, we see the large sunroof that can be opened and closed manually. So that concludes my in-depth exterior and interior tour of this 1966 Aston Martin DB5 Shooting Brake. Thanks again to RM Sotheby's and the car's owner for letting me film it. All links to its upcoming sale on the 8th of July 2026 are in the description of the video. Please subscribe for the latest content, and until next time, thanks for watching.